Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Now, before I give you the latest of roundup, a National Day of Mourning is being observed today, and the entire team of Sports Extra, PTV World in general, our entire fraternity here at Pakistan Television send prayers to the families of those who have lost their lives in the tragic incident that took place in Greece, where countless Pakistanis have lost their lives in the Mediterranean Sea. And of course, we can send out condolences, we can send out prayers, but it's the families who will be bearing this loss. It's an irreparable loss, but on behalf of the, like I said, entire fraternity of our team, we'd like to send condolences and our prayers that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ease the pain of those who have lost their loved ones in this national tragedy, as we are calling it as well. That being said, time now to take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, we will tell you that the Pakistan Cricket Board has announced a test squad for Pakistan's 2-test match series against Sri Lanka at the island nation. It's going to be very interesting because certain players are making a comeback, including Shaheen Shah Afridi, who is now part of the squad. He hasn't played test cricket ever since his injury, so it's going to be interesting to see him, and how Pakistan use him is very, very important in those conditions. Longer spells, shorter spells, they've got to preserve him for the World Cup as well. So these things will definitely be taken into account. He's currently in England, of course, but he will be joining this camp very soon. Then, of course, we see Amir Jamal, who's been given a call up to the test side. Talented individual, an all-rounder, and I think it's a great moment for him as well. Mohammad Huraira, who has been amongst the runs in the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, gets a chance to be part of this side. It's a very, very good decision, and considering the conditions in Sri Lanka, it will be challenging for him, but it's a great chance for him to make his impression on the world stage of cricket as well. So we'll be discussing all the options of this Pakistan squad that has been announced. 2 test matches against Sri Lanka. It's going to be a very challenging series as well. Then we move on to the Ashes with the first test match that continues, and it's all Australia because it took a couple of wickets, but England have found some stability as well. We were just discussing this before the show that this is an important partnership currently. England lead by 165 runs. They've got 5 wickets in hand. Their captain Ben Stokes and Johnny Bairstow are at the crease, and after this it's Moeen Ali. So it's a very important partnership. It's a make or break phase because they've still got a couple of days more, and the way things are going, even Australia is adjusting to batting with an aggressive run rate. So that means that you'll need to get something close to 300 to save yourself in the test match, courtesy of the weather, because there's also rain prediction tomorrow. So you never know how this match will be impacted, but one thing is for sure, it's been quality test cricket from both sides, and you really have to give credit to the aggressive mindset from not just Ben Stokes but Pat Cummins as well. So I think we got to appreciate that. Then of course we move on to the emerging Asia Cup for women, where the semi-finals have been postponed due to rain. It's now a reserve day that will be put into effect in Hong Kong, and the matches will be rescheduled and they will be taking place. Of course, once again, the entire cricket fraternity is hoping for a Pakistan-India final, so only time will tell how that proceeds. And then of course we move on to the UEFA Nations League, where Spain have been crowned champions. They were absolutely brilliant, and it's not just Spain that we will be talking about, but also another interesting thing where Luka Modric's career still hangs in the balance. He's yet to take a decision. This is something that we're still waiting to see as well, how things will proceed. So that's what we're discussing on the show. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios we've been joined by cricket commentator, broadcaster, presenter, and our cricket expert Asif Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmad. I'm perfect. How about you?
I'm very well. We've also been joined by sports expert on Sports Extra, Ali Mehdi. Assalamu alaikum, Ali. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm very well, Ahmed. Thank you.
Well, Asif, what's your first take on the squad when you look at it, considering that you're going to Sri Lanka, where you're going to have challenging conditions for Pakistan?
Well, Ahmed, keep in your mind that you'll be playing Asia Cup after this, and around the corner you'll be going to India for the World Cup. I think that keeping one thing in your mind that Pakistan is struggling. Let's suppose if there is no Rizwan, who would be the wicket keeper? I think Haris, he didn't play so well. He has been given so many chances. On the other side, Sarfraz, the way he came back against New Zealand, scored 100 there and saved that match. That was a perfect choice. Apart from that, there was a debate was going on about Umar bin Yusuf and Huraira. So I think if, because I was a part of domestic structure, I was doing commentary there, and I have watched very closely Omar bin Yusuf. He's such a fantastic talent. Especially, I like the way he plays in V, which is most favorite thing, being cricket commentator. But I think on the other side, if you see Mohammad Huraira, and if you see the comparison of both of the players, that Omar bin Yusuf averaging 43 and Mohammad Huraira averaging 68 in 25 matches.
Can you highlight that once again? So
yeah.
Umair's average is
43
and Huraira's average
is 68.
68.
Yeah.
So there is a remarkable difference in the average. But still, one individual has blamed, who thinks that he's the Lone Ranger of Karachi. He said that only because he's not from, he is from Karachi, that's why he wasn't picked in the side. So
well,
he ignored the averages.
Yes,
completely.
I mean, this is so sad. I think whoever that person is, that he didn't watch the games about domestic cricket. And because I was personally watching.
He's a test cricketer.
He's a test cricketer. You want me to name him?
Of course.
Tanveer Ahmed. Yes? Are you talking about Tanveer Ahmed?
You get 10 points. Yeah.
All right. See, Omar bin Yusuf, I have shared so many times, but I'm sharing again that he was struggling with an overpitch delivery, and he got out several times on the same place, and that's why Neil Johnson was working with him during the lunch and tea breaks. He is still suffering, though he has performed so well against Zimbabwe A. He was phenomenal there, and I think that before starting my point, I said that he's such a fantastic talent. But I think if you're not giving chances to those who are performing well in domestic cricket, then it's injustice. And Mohammad Huraira, he has been so well. And when we talk about 4-day cricket or 5-day cricket or the test matches, I think Huraira was the first choice even for me. So ask this question to those cricketers or those analysts, that who is the chief selector and where he is from. He's also from Karachi.
Very true, and a very interesting argument, because I think for the past many years this injustice has been done with Pakistan cricket, where players who were on merit and were performing were not given a call up at the right time, and that's why Pakistan cricket suffered badly. I think this is the first time that we see that a player, and trust me, a player who is technically sound will be able to perform. It won't be the other way around. It's not the same scenario again where anyone can come and score. These are challenging conditions when you talk about the Kaiser Trophy. It's a premier first-class tournament. So Ali Mehdi, as Asif highlighted, if you particularly see this squad and just talk about Huraira for a bit, there is a remarkable difference in the averages. And I was surprised as well, because for the past couple of months and more than a year, I was very interested, because he didn't even get a call up in the PSL as well, Huraira. I thought that he's one individual who should. But now I believe, because I heard that Sanjay Manjrekar argument when India lost the World Test Championship final, that prioritized players for specific formats, and because Huraira is terrific in this longer 4-day, 5-day format, that this could be a golden age for Pakistan.
I thought this was mind-boggling that Huraira wasn't selected in the first place. I thought he had a phenomenal last first-class Quaid-e-Azam trophy season. I thought he did extremely well. He's been so consistent, in 68. I mean, if you have an average of 68, if you're not part of the squad, I think it's really is very, you have to question the selectors too. So it's a huge sigh of relief for all of us cricket fans and all experts and anybody who follows the game, especially in Pakistan, that Huraira is part of that, because he is one for the future. He has the technical ability too. He plays extremely well throughout the arc too. And the most important thing, Ahmad, is that he's very good in this longer format. Look, if Pakistan want to, in the next 2 years, want to qualify for that World Test Championship, which is the goal, then what we need is players who actually specialize in Test cricket. I understand that there are some players who can play all 3 formats, but you need those players who are actually extremely good in the longer format of the game, because in this longer format of the game, you have to understand that in the next 2 years, Pakistan is only playing 14 test matches, and if Pakistan want to qualify on the percentage scale, then each and every match they actually have to win it. And because we're not going to get as many opportunities as the Englands and the Australias and the India for that matter, so we need to select the best possible squad, and I'm extremely happy that Huraira is there. And if there's an injury, if he gets the opportunity, I'm sure he'll shine.
Asif, what do you think about Amir Jamal's inclusion into the side?
Well, I was just checking the record of Amir Jamal, and you know that I really like Mohammad Umar. So there's a bit difference, and of course that Jamal has played 60 first-class games, and Mohammad Umar is short. I've just played only 25 games, and the average is like same. I mean, 31 averaging Ahmed Jamal and 28 Muhammad Umar. But still, I think that Ahmed Jamal has performed so well against Zimbabwe A, and we guys were taking some names in the bowling list if you talk about, and he's a very good all-rounder as well, I'm telling you. Same as Muhammad Umar is. I like both of these players. You can say that when we talk about the longer format like Test cricket, 4-day cricket, the selectors, they do watch your fitness as well. Selectors, they do watch either you are bowling line wicket to wicket or not, because it's really important when you're bowling in Sri Lanka. And there's a difference, you know, in if you're bowling here in domestic cricket in Rawalpindi or Lahore, or if you're bowling in Colombo or Galle or somewhere. So I think that Ahmed Jamal is a good choice, and he has been given chance against England in T20. He performed there, and then I think if you watch his performance specifically in Pakistan Super League, he was so good. And then now, if you are just watching that how they guys are performing in the domestic cricket, so I think that Ahmed Jamal is a very good choice. And if you see his health, his physique, it's really good. Being for the longer format for the Test cricket, and I always talk about that the players who are just coming up with the good physique, with the good health, they're really important, because 5-day cricket, it's all about your fitness.
Well, interestingly, Ali Mehdi, modern day cricket requires all-rounders, and this is specifically something that Pakistan has been missing. A lot of that reliance was on Fahim Ashraf, but then in and out of the side, you need somebody there who can bat when needed as well, not just bowl.
I think it's very important that, you know, if Pakistan wants to do in the longer format, you need somebody who's like, who has a 2-in-1, 3-in-1 package, not only bowls well, bats well, but fields well extremely. So I think Ahmed Jamal has actually merited his position, because he's done very well on the this domestic stage too, and then he has also played some international cricket. So the thing over here is that, you know, Fahim, the load has been, the burden has been on Fahim Ashraf, and whilst he's been in and out of the team, he hasn't been consistent enough. He hasn't been able to make that breakthrough look. You know, if Pakistan want to challenge to the top, we need a world-class all-rounder, which we haven't really had since the days of the great Abdul Razak. So for that matter, we need a fast bowling all-rounder, and I think that, you know, Ahmed Jamal is a good find, because he's playing so well over here, and then if I'm sure he will get an opportunity in this Test series too, and then he will be very handy going forward, because let's not forget, Ahmed, at the end of the year, our next Test assignment is against the mighty Aussies at, you know, in down under, in the likes of Perth, Sydney, and also Melbourne, where the pitches over there are going to actually assist fast bowlers too. So I think Ahmed Jamal has a great opportunity over here. He plays well over here. He goes back to domestic circuit, and then if he performs well, he will definitely qualify, and he will go to down under with that Pakistan team.
Definitely, that is the case, and we hope that Pakistan is able to perform, because this will be their first assignment of the World Test Championship cycle, which is the new one now. Asif, you'd like to add something?
Well, you know that the important thing is that we have very good and specialist wicketkeeper Rizwan. And if you go for the comparison, that he's better than Sarfraz as wicketkeeper. In the middle order, we require a batter who can play against the spinners so good. I think Sarfraz technically is so good, and he's a very good choice. He could be a very good choice for Asia Cup and World Cup as well.
But unfortunately, Asif, we're sticking with that wicketkeeper tag only. Why can't you play him as a player if he's not keeping the wickets? Because at a time, England has been playing 3 wicket keepers in their side.
Well, that was my next statement, and of course that when Rizwan is playing as wicket-keeper batter, I think you should include Sarfraz as a middle order proper batter, and we could use him even in the Asia Cup and the World Cup as well. This is what I was just saying. And because, you know, the way he scored 100 against New Zealand is a very, very good side, and you can see his even performances in the domestic cricket as well. He's working so hard on his fitness, and by the time I think you require an experienced player in the middle order. Salman Ali Agha is there. I think inclusion of Sarfraz could be really, really good choice for Pakistan cricket.
I would actually concur over here. I mean, I completely agree with Asif. I've been saying it for a while. I must say that, you know, I'm one of Sarfraz Ahmed's biggest ever fans. And look, we are going right now to Sri Lanka, which is like a spinner's paradise where the ball is going to turn square. He's definitely going to play there. But if you really want to challenge for that World Cup, we need his experience in India. It's going to be high octane, high pressure conditions over there. And we need him to stabilize that middle order. So I think we need him both in Test cricket and his 50-over cricket. And if you want to play him as a player, so be it. We need him as a batsman because that is the one area which Pakistan really needs, that stealth, and that is that middle order.
Look, I'll say one thing. Sri Lanka are conditions where the ball will spin. And it's often said in the language of batters that if the ball is turning, you need to have escape shots in your arsenal, which include the sweep and the reverse sweep, something that Yunus Khan did brilliantly for Pakistan. And the only person right now in this entire Test squad who's got technically the best sweep shot is Sarfraz Ahmad. There is no doubt about it. So I think it's not just that case, but playing a longer innings in the middle order is something that we require, especially after the departure of Yunus and Misbah, and closed doors on Asad Shafiq for all sorts of absurd reasons. You need somebody experienced there, and I think Pakistan Cricket Board, including the skipper Babar Azam, probably needs to take a step for Sarfaraz Ahmad, and if he wants him in the middle order, that's the only way Sarfaraz is going to play. But if Sarfaraz is not playing, that means that Babar does not want him in the middle order, because the captain has the first choice when it comes to the playing 11. So I think that will be the case, but we want Pakistan to do well. 2 Test matches against a talented Sri Lankan side at home is going to be very difficult. Now we move on to the Ashes, and it's lunch right now. England have been also in all sorts of, I think, forms so far, but they're 5 wickets down, still have 5 wickets in hand. They lead by 162 runs, but it is an interesting series, and so far there have been many performances that we need to talk about, and the match can go either way, whether it's the brilliance of Joe Root or the surprising 100 by Usman Khwaja. The bowlers have gotten their share as well. So far, 2 wickets for Nathan Lyon, 2 wickets for Pat Cummins, and then 1 wicket for the Aussie quick bowler as well, who's got the prime wicket as well. They've been bowling decently. The fact is that they've been hitting the line. There's been aggressive captaincy, that I realize. But Asif, what do you gauge from the Test match when one side scores quality runs and then they declare, the other side is just 7-6 runs short, and then they're able to pick up those 5 wickets in a span of 150 runs?
Well, it's all about your mindset, and when we talk about baseball cricket, the idea brought by Brendan McCullum, and he said to his team early on, we had discussed so many times that losing or winning doesn't matter, just go and play fearless cricket. And the way they started with the boundaries, Zach Crawley, we guys were discussing, and that we were watching together. Zach Crawley, he wasn't good in form, but the way he performed in the first innings, it's all about that you're getting confidence from your coach, from your captain, that yes, you can do and you should do. I think the first innings, when you were declaring around 400 and 388 for 8, what does it mean? That you have a clear message that we want a result in this match, and you're giving now chance to your bowlers, and that they got a very good bowling lineup. James Anderson, then Stuart Broad, and the Moeen Ali and Ollie Robinson. All of them, they bowled so nicely, and that's why Australia were in pressure. But it was a fantastic knock from Usman Khwaja, though I'm not happy the way he has bowled there, because it was
thrown away his wicket probably.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he has gifted his wicket actually. Because he was playing nicely. The ball was coming so nicely on the bat, and even after taking the new ball, he was so lucky that he got bowled against Stuart Broad, but it was no ball. So I think when you are getting chances, each and everything is perfect, and environment is supporting you, and you are, you settle down on the pitch. Now you scored 141, and you are playing. You have played ridiculous shots. Sorry to use this word, but I think, and then once again they've started so well in aggression. Now Australia is in this game, as you said that. We're expecting rain tomorrow, but let's suppose if they scored 275, 300, and this partnership is very, very crucial for England. Johnny Bairstow and Ben Stokes, both of them, they are the match winner players. So I think if they score well, let's suppose if the score is 280 and 300, and if they announce if they go for the announcement of declaration, I think then we will watch a very, very interesting contest.
Well, crowd question to you, Asif. It's from the crowd. People want to know about this reverse ramp shot from Joe Root that he keeps on hitting for 6 over third man.
Well, credit goes to Brendan McCullum, and of course that we have discussed this, that guy asks only aggression no more defensive cricket, even if it's a 5-day cricket. Just go and play fearless cricket. This is what they're
He's
doing.
middling that ball.
Yeah.
That ramp shot is from the middle of the bat.
I have watched a video in the final of World Test Championship where Alex Carey, he was trying to play a reverse sweep and a proper sweep shot, because you know that we do know that in Test cricket, players, especially English player, they just used to play in V. But when you're trying to play a reverse sweep with a proper when you're going to proper middle eight, what does it mean? That the Brendan McCullum he is working on your batting technique as well. That the V is not enough. You would have to improvise.
Absolutely, improvising is very important now as far as both these teams are concerned. But Ali, Mehdi, so far I think even Stevens. But look, I still think that if there is full days of play remaining in the next couple of days, and England get out on probably less than 300, then Australia's got a great chance in the game.
No, I think you've got a very good point. But I was actually looking at the weather tomorrow, and there's a good chance that it's going to be rain. So I think England will take anything above 250. Reason being is they've got that 7-run lead, and then tomorrow there'll be overcast conditions. Let's not forget that the pitch is now playing tricks. Now, if the pitch is playing tricks, then the ball could stay low, it could bounce, and then that's where Moeen Ali can come and actually can get pile on some wickets too. So I think now that the fact that the Australians are going to bat second, and anything above 250 now on this sort of wicket, which is now actually changing its course too, it's going to be quite challenging for the Aussies too. But look, English still need to get there. The Aussies are just a few wickets away. What I have to say about the Ashes is that it's an enthralling piece of cricket. This is why we watch Test cricket, because it is so close right now. And both these teams are fighting tooth and nail. They are great advertisement for cricket, and I can promise you that for the next 4 Test matches after this one, it's going to be a
I think the best advertisement
series.
for today was Shaheen Shah Afridi, who was sitting amongst the crowd watching the game as well. So I think that was very interesting to see Pakistan's lead pace attacker there amongst the crowd watching the Ashes, and that's why it's the biggest spectacle of Test cricket, and it will always be that. But one thing is for sure, action-packed game of cricket so far, quality Test cricket. Whichever side comes on top, even if it's a draw, it's going to be a very, very interesting Ashes. Asif, Ahmad, thank you very much for joining us. Would you like to add something before you go?
No, lastly, but what I'm saying is that the only thing, if there is raining and unstoppable raining, then we could see a draw. Otherwise, I can see a clear result.
Absolutely, a result-oriented game. But Asif, thank you very much for joining us. We hang on to Ali, Mehdi, and we take our focus now to the UEFA Nations League. But right after this short break, stay tuned. Well, there you have it. That wraps up a Sports Extra. Ali, Mehdi, thank you very much for joining us as well. Of course, one thing is for sure, that the latest update of sports will always be at your doorstep, courtesy of Sports Extra. So do tune in to PTV World, our YouTube page, and of course on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. You can catch all the updates from the world of sports on Sports Extra's pages. That being said, from me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.